Hello, everybody. This is our 62nd episode of Sports Take. We thank everybody for joining us. We're going to have a good show. It's a lot to talk about, and we're going to jump right in. But first, I want to give a highlight to our sponsor, A Rocket.
Well, hello, everybody. Once again, we all realize that at some point, everybody has to move. So when that time comes for you, make your move and A Rocket move. We are a full service moving company, local, commercial, intrastate, and interstate in Houston and in the state of Texas. 713-748-6024. 3401 Quarter Street, A Rocket Moving Storage. Ask for DeAndre Sam or Philip Greene. We will be available to show you our 62,000 square foot warehouse. Book your move, get you situated, whatever that may be. At any and every opportunity you may need us, give us a call. We're there. That's what the name says. A Rocket. We're there in a hurry, and we get it done efficiently, effectively, and economically.
And everybody, we're still open for sponsors, more sponsors. If you got a business or a cause, talk to us. We'd be glad to put you on as a sponsor. So with that said, 83 points. Yes, a couple of days ago. Bam Adebayo. What y'all say about that? Jeff, what you say?
Outstanding game, man. Sometimes you have a day like that. You have a game like that. I had a game like that a few days ago when I hit 15 straight threes. You get hot. Sometimes you just get hot and you can't miss. You're like, wow, I'm serious. I know you're looking at me and you wondering, I'm serious. I made 15 straight threes. You get hot. Bam just got hot. And they couldn't stop him. And once you get hot in a zone
So
like that,
talking about
it's hard.
On the sock goal in your room?
No, I'm talking about at the park, right down the street at the park, playing against 16, 15, 16, 17-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm 64. Who you want me to play against? 25-year-olds? Come on now. Yeah, okay. Give me something here. But anyway,
so you knocked down 15 in a row?
15 3-pointers. 15 3-pointers.
15 threes. 15
yeah.
15 consecutive games started, what happened?
Huh? Say what?
After that, then the game started?
I was hot, man. So I understand what Bam was going through. He was hot, man.
You understand,
and then he was playing against the worst team in the league, playing against the Wizards. Wizards got half their team is out on the injured list. So he was playing against a weak team, and he was just hot.
Well, a lot of people are adding asterisks to it for whatever reason. The coach said, hey, I'm not apologizing for it. It was an actual, good effort in the game. But, people have reasons that they don't want to equate it with what Kobe did. But 83 points, in my opinion, is 83 points. So he should get credit.
I agree.
Yeah, what you say?
Well, I mean, it's basketball. They are NBA team. They get paid. If you don't want them to hit 83 points, stop it. They couldn't do it. Didn't do a good job at least. So I'm not going to elaborate on that too much. That's history. It's done. And it's by an unlikely hero, but hey, that makes him a hero in my book.
The guy took 43 free throws. He was 36 or 43 from the free throw line. So that's a record for the number of free throw attempts in the game. 36 or 43. He was 20 or 43 from the field. He had 30 points at the end of one. He actually outscored the Wizards' whole team in the first quarter. So that's just a remarkable performance. Then he came back the next game. He didn't do much the next game. But remarkable performance by Bam Adebayo. So congratulations to Bam Adebayo. He had his girlfriend there with him, Asia Wilson. So that had
jealous?
Huh?
You're not jealous?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
You got a thing for Asia Wilson?
Okay. I used to have a thing for Angel Reese, but now it's kind of got switched over and transferred over to Asia Wilson.
I like you like both of them.
No, I see Angel all the time without clothes on, and just kind of cheapening her a little bit. So I like Angel.
I like that kind of cheap.
Huh?
I like that kind of cheapening.
Yeah, I know, but I see her all the time. I just constantly see her. Till I see her, she's don't have any clothes on, so you kind of get tired of it after a while.
It's cool with me.
Yeah.
Okay, other things in the NBA. I just saw the game between Boston and the Thunder. That could be a preview of what's going on, what's going to happen. But of course, Detroit got something to say about that. So, Jeff, let's talk about the state of the league. What's going on?
Right now, your boy Shea is back. Shea Alexander is back, and now all of a sudden, OKC is back on the roll. They back on the roll. At one point, when he was out, he missed like 8, 9, 10 games. When he was, I think it was 11 games he missed. They were kind of mediocre, quite naturally. But now, since he's been back, hey, they've won what 7 straight. They won 9 of the last 10. So OKC's got it going on again now. So they #1. They're starting to pull away a little bit from the West now that Shea is back. San Antonio still playing ball, playing some good ball. They've won 8 of the last 10. So, and then they blew the Rockets out the last time we played them. I mean, about like 45. I think we lost about 45 or something like that.
Denver blew the Rockets out too.
Yeah. Rockets have some games where they just seem like to me they just don't show up. It seems like to me they show up without their basketball IQ. They have no cohesiveness. There are games where they just have no cohesiveness. They really truly need a point guard. They do not have that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the #1 need for the Rockets, a point guard and a backup, a real center. Put Şengün at the 4. But there is something's going on in that locker room. Something's going on in that locker room, because they're up once, then they lose 2, 3, and they lose it in horrible fashion.
I agree with you, Gerald. I think something is going on. I think something could be going on between Kevin Durant and Akron Şengün. I think something going on because coming into the season, Akron Şengün was your lone all-star on his team. Okay. And now you trade for Durant. Now you bring in another perennial all-star. And I think those two kind of hitting heads as to who should get the last shot. And I think there is some problems in the locker room between those two players. It's going to be very interesting to see whether or not Kevin Durant is back next season. It's going to be very interesting.
I want to point something out. They got rid of Cam Whitmore. Couldn't they use Cam Whitmore right now? He could have provided some instant offense off the bench that they need. The bench is real weak at this time, and I think they got rid of him too soon.
Well, go ahead, Phil.
I defer to Gerald. Gerald, go ahead and give him something on that. I'll let you know something.
You got a tail wagging a dog here. You have to have a floor general. I mean, I'm through. I'm out of eligibility, but they really need a real point guard. They need a point guard over there. Some of the stuff on the floor, you got to at least be able to compete. I mean, getting bust by 30 and 40 points, 25, 20 points, they're too good for that. They're hanging on right now to the 4 seed, and it's gonna change. They're going in the opposite direction. Definitely not the direction we want them going in.
Now, on the Cam Whitmore situation, Carl, have you heard about him doing anything in Washington?
No, I haven't.
So that answers your question, in my opinion.
Not necessarily.
No, I mean, he's been hurt. He's been hurt.
Okay,
he's been hurt about a month now.
Okay,
he'll give away 83 points too, then.
He's been hurt for about a month now.
Okay, that's fine. But what's your best ability? Availability. You can't help me in the locker room. You can't help me in the trainer's office. I mean, I'm just saying.
Or in the skybox.
One of the reasons why they got rid of him is his attitude, his body language, his lack of work ethic.
And he went away when he went to Washington?
Right. Well, no, we still have problems on the team. But also, in addition to that, they was trying to get under the luxury tax threshold, and they moved his salary. That helped them stay under the luxury tax threshold. They didn't want to pay that luxury tax.
I understand. I'm just pointing out what he has shown. He could have helped them right now where they are. What he
I can't say that for sure. I can't say that for sure.
Is he point guard?
No.
Okay. No. Right audience. Okay.
I still say Jaylen Brown should be the MVP. Okay. Let's talk about that. Gerald Greene, what you think?
I'm a Shea man. I'm a Shea guy. Shea bad boy, man. This is Shea time. Shea Butter right now. I'm going with Shea Butter.
I just want to point out Jaylen Brown has kept Boston in the hunt. They second, and without him, they wouldn't have done nothing because they lost Jason Tatum, who is back now. He didn't play yesterday, but he's played the last 3.
Well, he definitely got to be in the conversation, Carl. I'm with you on that. I don't know about being the MVP, but he in the conversation just based on what you said.
I got him number 3 behind Wemby.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
What about Cade Cunningham? He's on the number 1 team in the East.
He should be in the conversation.
I got him number 2.
Oh no, I got him number 4 at best.
He should be in the conversation. I don't know.
What about Luka? Luka's averaging 33 points a game. What about Luka?
Who?
Luka Doncic averaging
33 for sure. He's leading the league in scoring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he should.
My thing is, how much is it helping them win?
Say what
about Edwards averaging 29 a game?
It's a good conversation for a lot of people.
That's 7 right there.
But what about your boy Nikola Jokic? The guy's averaging 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists a game. When's the last time you had a center do that?
Just him recently.
Yep. But the problem is he's missed 16 games. The problem is he's missed 16 games. So that's going to be tough for him to do that. Who you guys got as the rookie of the year?
They missed on the postseason awards if they missed 17.
How many games can they miss?
17. 17 is the last one.
Okay, well he can only miss one more game then.
That's it. Right.
Okay. He's right on the cusp on it then. Well, who's your rookie? Who's your guys' rookie of the year?
Cooper Flag.
With Con Knueppel a close second.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like that boy in San Antonio.
I might give it to Con. Con's playing some ball.
Cool.
And Con Knueppel, he's playing some ball.
Con Knueppel.
Yeah. That guy's averaging 19 points a game, 5
That's what I said. He's better than I thought he was. I guess.
Yeah.
Con Knueppel.
Yeah. He said the rookie.
No, not San Antonio. You talking about Hawk?
No, he played for Charlotte. He played for Charlotte.
Yeah, he plays for Charlotte. Came out of Duke with Flag. I mean, I'm just saying, you knew Flag was going to be good. That was never a question. But I was shocked at how good Knueppel has played.
Right, me too. They were roommates last year.
Yeah, they are. They square up against each other.
So amazing. Them guys 1-2. Roommates last year at Duke, and they're going to be 1-2 in the Rookie of the Year voting. So that's amazing.
Probably.
Last time you ever seen that?
Hey guys, have y'all seen the ladies play World Cup basketball? Caitlin Clark passing to Angel Reese. It's looking good. They beating people by 40 points. Look like the top team. You got a comment on this, Gerald?
Yeah. Who are they playing?
That's a point.
I mean,
the other national teams, other countries, national teams.
I'm about to say,
remember, this is the qualifying.
Washington Bullets at it again.
You mean Washington Generals? Oh, you mean the USA Women's team?
Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about, the USA Women.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh, that's why it was funny.
Yeah, they got a loaded team.
No, this is the qualifying tournament. The real tournament don't start until September 4th. This is the qualifying tournament.
You're supposed to blow people out in qualifying.
Right. Exactly. They're
using pros. They're pros are better than other pros around the world. You know,
but we talked about the Rockets pretty badly, but right now the Rockets are sitting only a half a game out of the third spot. Right now the Lakers got them by a half a game, but then again Denver only sits a half a game behind Houston. So it's going to be a dogfight for the 3rd through the 6th seeds. No, actually for a 3rd through the 7th seeds. It's going to be a dogfight. All those teams are bunched up. That can go either way. Houston better make sure they don't end up in that play-in. You don't want to be the play-in because if you're in the play-in, you're going to end up having to go against the Clippers, Golden State, or Portland. And we've only beaten Portland once this year, and Golden State always gives us trouble, and the Clippers as well. So Houston want to make sure they don't drop down to 7. Right now, Phoenix is only behind Houston by a game and a half. So Houston only a game and a half out of being in the play-in. That's how close it is. And the West is tough, man. The West is tough. I like what Phoenix is doing. Phoenix, missed Gerald Greene most of the season, and now you're missing Dylan Brooks. But still, they sitting on a game and a half behind the Rockets. Amazing.
And the Rockets
Amazing.
play tonight against New Orleans. We'll see what's going to happen.
And Phoenix has won 4 straight. They've won 4 straight. Even with Dylan Brooks out, they've won 4 straight. So
I want to go back to the WNBA that's in negotiations. Jeff, what have you heard about the negotiations?
Well, they still in what's called intense in-person negotiations right now. They missed the March 10th cutoff. That was the deadline to have the deal done, and it didn't get done. So right now they are in intense in-person negotiations right now. And the ladies are getting a lot of things. They're giving them a lot of things. As of right now, what I'm hearing is the salary cap has increased from 1.5 million all the way up to 6.2 million. So that's huge. The average salary is going to go up from let's see, hold on. The average salary is going to go up to exceed 1.3 million. That's that's the max salary. The average salary is going to exceed 570,000. The average salary. So, but right now the two sides remain the stalemate over the revenue sharing statistics, how it's calculated. They're struggling with that one last step, and that's where they are right now. So it's going to be interesting. The season's supposed to start on May 8th, so they still got time, but they really need to make this happen. They don't want to go in a lockout. They don't want to lock up. They can lose a lot of momentum. That league has created a lot of momentum over the last couple of years. They want to keep the momentum going. You don't want to lock up. You will lose a lot of your fans, and you may not ever get them back. You may not ever get them back. I'm telling you.
I want to welcome Adonnis. How you doing, sir? We've been talking about the NBA outlook, the Rockets. What's your comment on that?
On the
NBA and the Rockets.
So the NBA part of it, I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about that one. I haven't been paying attention to it as much. But the Rockets, oh man, I'm kind of torn on that. Because I know the blame quickly goes to you shouldn't have traded away Dylan Brooks.
Okay.
Dylan Brooks and Gerald Greene. I did feel like Dylan Brooks was very, very underrated. I did feel that. I felt like he wasn't the problem in Memphis. Memphis hasn't won anything since he left. I feel like he's a solid player. He's actually a mature player. He's a very important player. But with that being said, when you really look at the Rockets roster, with all the players that moved, you have to realistically say, okay, Gerald Greene, he's just now starting to get play because of his injuries early in the season. So he wouldn't have been available for you until now anyway. You basically plugged in Kevin Durant where he was, and KD has been playing. He's been putting up points, and consistently when Gerald Greene wasn't. So the factor to me has been Fred VanVleet not being there, because they didn't play well even without those trades. They didn't play well when Fred was out. So I do think that's most of it. But there's a part of me that also feels like that when you look at that team from last year, they just seem like they had more heart, they had more fight, they had something to prove, they had a chip on their shoulder. And it does feel like at times that this team is more like, we in trouble, give the ball to Durant. And from that perspective, maybe they lost some of that chemistry in that. Because I do feel like if Fred was there, Fred would have made sure everybody knew their roles. And without Fred there to have everybody make sure they know their roles, they start deviating. Give it to Durant. Make sure he gets his touches. We need points. Give it to Durant. And that's not what they were built on last year. Last year, you had to deal with the whole team and the bench. This year is like if Durant's not on, Şengün isn't the same guy. And the other guys are not the same guys. So, but what do you do? You know, you still make that move, wouldn't you? I'm thinking it probably saved your season and that you were able to win as many games as you had so far. But at the same time, we're thinking about playoffs. And the way San Antonio looking, my goodness. San Antonio and that alien Wembanyama, that's a bad boy, man.
Yeah, but he's not the only one. They got Fox.
But see
and
here,
they got
here's the thing.
Castle,
You're right. He isn't the only one. But these old school these veterans and these old heads in the league gonna let this young man come into this league and play with passion that they don't have, and the passion that young man plays with inspires his team. They play like that because they know that it means something to him. You see what I'm saying? And that's important. That's a lost thing in today's NBA, where it's not just about getting your numbers, putting up Bam's 83, like I saw y'all had on there. Or it's not about that. Like, he cares about wins and losses. He's shedding tears when they have a 24-point comeback. He got that old school mentality as a young man, and that's a dangerous team.
That is a very, very dangerous team. Gerald, you got any comments on what the brother was saying?
Well, yes. Adonis, we were talking about the difference between the Rockets of 24-25 and this team of 25-26. Is sitting there in street clothes right now. You can count on him in 24-25. Now he in street clothes. You didn't count on him to break his hand in the summer that you just traded for Kevin Durant. You plan on putting them together. That matters.
Most NBA teams have a backup where they can at least put up a facsimile of what they had before, and the Rockets didn't invest in a backup. They could have got one during the free agency and trade period, but they didn't do that. They didn't think they needed to do that. So I still say a fault in management also. Phil, what you say?
Let me explain something to you about this situation with the Rockets and the point guard situation. You have to understand that the Rockets have, of course, you had Fred VanVleet. Okay, then you had Amon Thompson. Okay, then you had Reed Sheppard. I think the Rockets were hoping that Reed Sheppard was going to take over that point guard spot. I think they was hoping that it's going to be Reed Sheppard and Amon Thompson as your starting guards at some point or another. But Reed is still not ready to be a point guard at the NBA level. He's still not ready. And so that's kind of disappointing. He can shoot the ball, but he's still not ready to be an NBA point guard. So they're missing that tremendously. And that's what's missing. They don't have a floor general. And then you say, well, why didn't they address it? Well, one reason why they didn't address it is because the Rockets they're up against the luxury tax. So they were handicapped. They couldn't go out and make any more moves because they were up against the luxury tax. When you're up against the luxury tax like that, you are limited in the moves you can make, in the trades you can make. You're extremely limited. So they couldn't go out and get anybody else. They just couldn't because they was going to be over the luxury tax apron, and which means they was going to be handicapped moving forward. And they didn't want to do that.
You could have got some guys at the league minimum. There were some guys you could have gotten.
But
like everybody has said, that's why Fred VanVleet makes more money than all the guys you just named put together. They needed him, they wanted him, and he wasn't available. And like I said, what's the best ability? Your availability. He wasn't available. You're right. Everybody knows. Everybody knows what they need.
They couldn't have got a league minimum. I'm telling you, the luxury tax threshold, they didn't have enough money left.
I understand that. Look, there's too much creativity in the front office in the NBA. You could have got a guard.
You can go over the luxury.
You can't go over too. If you pay a penalty. But they could have gotten somebody. Don't say they couldn't have gotten nobody. They just didn't get anybody. That's about
go over the cap.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a way they could have got somebody, even if they had to make a little trade.
Part of that league minimum counted against, and they were over the amount. They couldn't get a guy league minimum. I'm telling you, they couldn't.
Jeff, there's so many teams over the league luxury tax right now. New York, LA, a lot of teams over there. That's not something they could navigate around. The point of the matter is they just didn't do a good job getting a good backup point guard. That's it.
That's what it comes down to. Dennis, let me ask you this. We were talking about USA female basketball, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they working together. But the WNBA is talking about striking. What do you think about that?
So I haven't heard about the last I saw is that they had finally decided to pay their players, but they still not agreeing.
No, they haven't agreed yet.
The
Oh
women
boy,
want everything. They want all of their demands met. And the men gonna have to pony up or let it go.
They're not gonna strike.
What do you think would be the result of them having a strike?
They're not gonna strike.
It's gonna tremendously impact the product. A lot of people
I'm asking
will
him,
walk
Jeff.
away.
Jeff,
Huh?
I'm asking him.
Oh, okay.
Well, honestly, I agree with what you just said. The league success is too new for you to make moves like this. You would hurt your visibility and the momentum that you're building if you do something like that right now. I mean, especially when you have options, with the NBA, other sports. I don't think that would be. I don't think ultimately. I don't think it would help anything when it comes to growth of the league.
I agree with you. I hope that they see that. Jeff, what's your comment on that?
Basically, like I said, like I've already said, I will be reiterated.
Okay. The NFL guys has been making a lot of moves going on around. Quarterbacks are moving around all in the league. Kyler Murray, he's no longer in Arizona. He's now signed with Minnesota. Geno Smith has left the Raiders and went to the Jets. There's so many different. Go ahead, Phil.
No, I'm saying he was traded. Kyler got kicked out of Arizona. So basically, that's kind of how that went down. But hey, that's a reunion. That's where he got drafted initially in the league. But Kyler's gonna go in Minnesota and see if he can get a year to prove himself.
Yeah,
and that's about it. With his contract.
Yeah, they got a 6th-round pick for Geno Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got traded. Yeah.
Kyler,
and then
Kenneth Walker. And then running back Kenneth Walker signed with the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's free agency.
Yeah.
I was hoping
now let's talk about
Texans would get a good running back either in the draft or a trade. That's what they really need. They need a power.
They did.
If we had a Derrick Henry, that would change things. A great.
Who's he talking about? The Texans.
Texans.
We just got paid for Montgomery.
All right, let me cover the Texans. Let me go ahead and cover the Texans. All right, these are the Texans moves. These are the free agents they were picked up. They picked up Reed Blankenship. He will be their starting safety. They picked up Dominique Robinson, the defensive end from Chicago. Good pickup. They picked up an offensive tackle who can swing in and play offensive guard, Brandon Smith. Outstanding pickup. He will be a starting offensive lineman. They picked up defensive end Logan Hall, signed him to a 2-year, $14 million deal out of the 49ers. I also picked up a tight end, Foster Moreno. I like that move. Then they re-signed Ed Ingram, their offensive guard, who will be starting. They re-signed Trent Brown, offensive tackle. They re-signed E.J. Speed, linebacker. And they re-signed M.J. Stewart. Then they traded, of course, Juice Scruggs, an offensive lineman who they were not happy with, along with a 4th-round pick in this year's draft and then a 7th-round pick in next year's draft for David Montgomery. I really like that pickup. I like David Montgomery.
But you got him.
Yeah, I like what he brings. He brings toughness. He brings grit. That guy, he's the kind of guy that if there's 2 yards there, he'll get you 5. He's the kind of guy that if there's nothing there, he'll get you 3 yards. He plays with determination. He runs with the correct pad level, and he's outstanding as far as running within the tackles. I like the pickup. He is your starting running back.
Backfield too.
Yeah, exactly.
He
is your starting running back.
Sounds good, but I want to mention this. The Texans last year had a team that could have and should have won, but the quarterback and some of the other mistakes doomed that. Are they mature enough now to take that next level? I want to ask Adonnis. Donnie, what you think?
I sure hope so. You know, I thought last year, you know, as a Houstonian, last year was, you know, is I in my lifetime, I don't think I ever saw the path that open to the Super Bowl. And we all know what a Super Bowl means to the state of Texas. I mean, the Cowboys ain't been since the '90s, and they're the most valuable franchise in the entire world. That's how strong it is. But I do like that they, you know, I do like that the Texans make quick moves. They address things with, you know, going into the next year um, instead of keeping guys that they maybe should let go or what have you. They seem to always have a plan, but they just didn't plan for C.J. Stroud not showing up. But I do think.
What do you think about C.J. Stroud? Should they keep investing in him or maybe move on?
I feel like you have to. You know, I feel like the way things have gone in recent years, with guys having some success early in their careers like they have, I feel like it's made a lot of people impatient when it comes to young quarterbacks. You know, you had guys like Aaron Rodgers back in the day that they behind Brett Favre for a few years, some years before they actually get in there and start performing. But these guys these days, they're getting thrown in there straight from college. And so I do feel like, especially seeing who won the Super Bowl this year and their quarterback with the Seattle Seahawks, I feel like giving up on a guy, even in the first 3, 4, 5 years of his career, you know, you don't know what kind of a development he's gonna take or apply. So you may have a guy that hasn't been good for 5 years, but in year 6 or 7, he gets it. You know, I don't really know if that's a combination of them growing and maturing along with having the best offensive coordinator along with them. I haven't really put my finger on exactly why it's like that, but definitely we've seen what he can do when he's on in his rookie season. I hope because also what I'm looking at as well is I'm looking at his success away from Bobby Slowick, and I'm trying to ask myself, does he need Bobby Slowick, or is the new offensive coordinator a good fit for him? I guess time will tell. Because I mean, he just did not look this bad under Bobby Slowick. And I know Bobby Slowick didn't have a good year calling the same plays. It was frustrating that year after. But CJ ain't looked this bad under Bobby Slowick. So I don't know. Me personally,
I want to say those 2 playoff games, but before that, he had some very good games. But those 2 playoff games, they kind of set the tone, and that's what we remember. Gerald, what you got to say about it?
Yeah, I was just mentioning the Philip that you know, CJ Stroud has shown flashes, but we don't see as much progressing, more so than a little of regression. I was just saying, I'm thinking that he might have peaked near the end of his rookie year. You know, because since then, just think about it. The city was considering CJ Mills because they were kind of getting tired and fed up with some of the stuff with Mr. CJ Stroud. And then when he got back healthy, of course, he got his spot back, of course. But the city was talking about that. The streets was talking about that. You know.
So you're saying we should have considered Davis Mills?
Oh, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying, you asking me. Not at all. Yeah. I said the streets. I ain't say me. I mean, CJ is the best you have, but I'm just saying he kind of peaked. He's been regressing since you know, coming into early of his second year. He just finished his 3rd year, so he's still in his first contract, Adonnis. So they're gonna have a decision to make after next year.
Well, he got this year to kind of reset the ideals and reset the mindset of people.
Well, he
He
hasn't
had
had the
some
same.
very good games. Y'all got to say that in that winning streak. He had some very good. The game against Kansas City, he played better than Mahomes.
But he hasn't had the same offensive coordinator for more than 2 years since he's been here. It's been 1 year, 2 years. You got to get somebody that's in there that's going to be there and he can get used to. And second of all, Jerry, you have to understand when you mention Davis Mills' name, they get Carl excited because CJ rookie year, he was the one that said CJ should have started, and you know we had a big debate
I was
about that.
saying,
Yeah, he said
we
should
had
have
a good
drafted
enough
CJ
quarterback.
Stroud.
We didn't have to draft the quarterback. However, I didn't know how good CJ
And I
was.
told him how good he was in the
But we had an
preseason.
adequate quarterback, and he still has proven that he's a very good and adequate backup.
And we all agree with that. We all agree
Exactly.
with that, Carl. But I was just explaining to Gerald, he didn't know your affinity for Davis Mills. So when you said his name, he said his name. I know how excited you got.
It's gonna
Well,
be
yeah, but as you know, in the NFL, you got to have a good
For sure.
backup quarterback, and we
they
have
come
one
at
of
a
the
premium.
best.
They come at a premium, and Davis Mills gets paid well, and he did a good job. They would have not made the playoffs last year without Davis Mills. I agree. But it's no CJ Stroud on a bad day.
it's gonna be
Jeff, what are some of the
off
other
season.
things in the NFL that you have seen? Now,
This is going to be a pivotal offseason for the Texans. They have to make the right moves. They're too close. They're really close to being a Super Bowl contender. They got to go ahead and revamp that offensive line. I like the move they made, the guy that they picked up. There's some more free agent offensive linemen on the board. I like to see them pick up one more guy. Then I like to see them use that first round pick on an offensive lineman. They do that, and then I like to see them come back in the third round and get another offensive line. Okay? And then what you got 2 second-round picks, I want to go give me another running back. I want to run back with some speed. Now, I like Montgomery, but I want a running back that can hit the hole and be gone and not get dragged down, 20 at the 20-yard line. I want a guy to take it all the way. So there are some running backs in the draft with great speed. I saw the combine. You got some great speed. So give me one of those guys. Whether it's in the latter part of the second round or early part of the third round, I want one of those guys.
okay, guys,
Because
let me
even though
ask
you
this.
got Montgomery, say what?
Let me ask this, Jeff. Let me go in another direction. Seattle won the Super Bowl. Who are going to be some of the stronger teams that we think of next year? I think Philadelphia will be back. I think Chicago will be back. I think Baltimore will be back. I think those teams will come back. Will Kansas City be back in their old role? Anybody? What do you think? You don't think so, Adonnis? Why not?
They just look old to me.
And then they got a new coach.
Yeah, they just look like they needed in order for them to be back, they needed young, fresh players to go along with Mahomes. But Kelsey, that's been Mahomes' safety blanket for a while. He don't look the same. It's not their time anymore. You got too many good teams that are coming up. Look at what the Patriots did this year. I don't really like them because I hate that they don't have Tom Brady and they right back in the Super Bowl again. It's like, come on, we've been waiting for my whole entire life.
That's because CJ's proud.
Yep.
Yeah, you got a good point. And things change around. Go ahead, Phil.
No, I'm just saying it's a cycle. I mean, it happens. I mean, you brought back a guy who played in the era of New England's domination with your coach. You got your organization because they gave the coach and hit him one and done. I mean, that don't happen often. So when you get back with Vrabel was able to bring back things that he knew they could do and make them relevant. But at the same time, that's a good little quarterback they got, and they played good together, and they had a favorable schedule too.
Quick question.
Put in front of you. But
quick question. The Texans.
They won't have that schedule
this
year.
Jeff. Let him finish.
They won't have that schedule.
No, they won't have a 4-4 schedule.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay. All right. Would you guys bring back Stephon Diggs? He wants to return to the Texans. He's 32 years old. Last season, he had 85 receptions for over 1,000 yards and 4 TDs. He wants to return to Houston. Would you bring Stephon Diggs back?
No. I think they
Okay, what
got
about you,
enough
Phil?
with
What
Christian
about you,
Kirk.
Phil?
I would.
Okay.
I would.
Me too. If the salary is very reasonable, say minimum, a little bit more than minimum, if he's willing to take a low salary, I'll bring him back.
And he was
Because
doing
that's
good when
all
he was here.
you
He
need.
just got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, because the guy had 85 receptions.
Yeah.
So obviously he still can
And he would
get
be
it
very
done.
productive in this
I would
offense.
hope Tank
And-
Dell comes back and what's the other receiver, the main receiver that they got?
Nico.
Nico Collins.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
I would concentrate on them.
You got good receivers,
You
but
know,
they
he said a
let
few
some of them go
bad
too.
comments when he left this time. So I wouldn't bring him back. But that's me.
It's better to bring him back than bring James Harden back. He would be a better fit in this organization than bringing James Harden back.
James Harden can't go long.
James Harden can't what?
Can't go long. He's not running slants. What are we talking about?
In other words, a player who's left a team he's played for, bringing him back to Houston, Gerald. This ain't Chicago.
I thought we was talking about the Texans.
Well, I'm pivoting to give you an analogy. And if you listen, you can get that. But here again, all I was saying was you bring back Diggs. We both agree on that, right?
Huh?
You know,
We both
bringing
agree
back
about
James
bringing
Harden
Diggs back, right?
sounds
Yes.
good with the
And the
Rockets.
only reason I put James Harden name out there is because when you leave, sometimes you can't come home again.
Yeah,
Diggs just left, and Diggs is only gone for a year. He could be an asset. He got some off the field stuff, but I think this organization is strict enough to handle that, and I think he knows this would be his last hurrah. That's all I'm saying.
All right, guys, time to talk college hoops, Carl. College hoops. Let's start with the swag, baby. Let's start with the swag. PBU.
You know.
You know, PBU. You know, PBU won today in the swag semifinal tournament. They won 74-55 over Alabama. Today, they won today over Alabama A&M, 74-55. So PB will be in the swag tournament finals. They will be playing the winner of Southern and Florida A&M. Southern and Florida A&M playing right now. And that game, the finals will be tomorrow at 7:30. I'm sure it's going to be on.
I just want to mention that TSU just fired one of their former great players, Kevin Granger, for sexual assault allegations. And, you know,
he took his number from the Raptors, too.
Huh?
He took his number from the Raptors in PE Center, Physical Education Center, where they play home games. Recently, Ralph Cooper pointed it out that, hey, one bad moment. Like I said, they didn't go to court. They didn't have any trial or anything. So, that could be speculation as opposed to revelation, but it happened. So, when you get your name in that kind of situation, they can kind of do what they need to do to school discretion. So he's out. Yeah.
In a situation like that, I feel that they are protecting quote unquote students, and it was probably a situation where things were going on and people knew it, so forth, so on, and those things
happen. Allegedly, Paul, that has not been proven. The school took action, but that is not. They haven't been with the court for none of that. They don't have any records that's 100% whatever she filed the case. In the court.
I agree with you.
But I'm not trying to protect them either. It's just that's the way it is.
They must have felt strongly, though.
Yeah, they felt strongly about it. Obviously, it's still prerogative to do what they did. But all I'm saying is, but the reality doesn't mean that's exactly what happened.
True. So, Jeff, go ahead, Jeff.
Also tonight, you got the Houston Cougars, the number 2 seed in the conference, going up against the number 3 seed in the conference, the Kansas Jayhawks. That's tonight at 8:30. So that should be coming on here in a few minutes. So that should be a good game. Cougars versus Kansas. That's going to be a good game. March Madness, the NCAA tournament starts next Tuesday, the 17th. So that should be it's going to be hot. But I want to give a special congratulations out to PBU. I want to congratulate Dante Horn, who scored 25 points, pulled down 5 rebounds today. I want to congratulate Corey Wells, who had 13 points, 7 rebounds. And congratulations to Lance Williams, who had 18 points to lead the PB to the impressive victory over Alabama A&M. So go PBU.
I just want to say, I hope this is the year for U of H. U of H has gotten close so many years, and I hope this is the year. And if that boy, what's his name, Fleming, if he was with the Rockets, they would probably be better.
But he's not a point guard.
He reminds me of Derrick Rose, though.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely. Well, yeah. Well, that's bad.
Yeah. All right, real quick, guys. Everybody give me your pick. Who's your pick? Who's going to win the NCAA? Who's going to win? One pick, one team. We'll start with you, Gerald.
I'm going to stay with the hometown. I'm going with Houston.
You're going to go to Houston, okay. All right, Phil, we're going to go with you next. Who you got?
UConn.
UConn? Okay, UConn is sitting at 27-4, ranked in sixth seed. Okay. All right. Carl, who you got?
U of H.
You going U of H? Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Arizona. Arizona ranked number 2, sitting at 29-2. I think I'm gonna go Arizona. I've seen them play like 3 times. They just
Adonnis, you got a pick?
Zillions.
I did like what I saw out of Arizona as well. But then I think it's interesting, though, that Arizona and the Cougars both lost to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's kind of up in the air this year. I just feel like you got teams like Texas Tech, U of H, Arizona. I feel like they can beat anybody if they play their game and they have that night. I actually feel better about this U of H team than the one last year, just because it seems like they got a closer in Fleming that's fearless. You know, when the lights are on, I feel like that's the only reason why they lost last year is the bright lights came on, and for one play it didn't happen. You know, I don't think they got that problem this year.
Sounds good. I believe in U of H. Kelvin Sampson, before he finishes his career, should cross over that barrier. Last point, guys. The World Cup of Baseball is going on right now. And United States, of course, is playing all these other countries. But the MBL players are playing, some of them. Now, the Astros, their players did not get permission to play. Dennis, you're an Astros fan. What do you think about the Astros' chances of getting back to the World Series?
Oh boy. Oh man. I feel like they always got a chance. My thing is, I don't know about a spotter. Like for me, he hasn't shown me anything that makes me think that guy is got a lot. I felt that way with Dusty. I feel that way with the coach that's in Detroit now. I'll take it a step further. I'd be lying if I say I'm just totally impressed with the GM. I know he came with a lot of credentials and he's made some big money moves, and he hasn't been bad. But man, Jeff Luhnow was if Jeff Luhnow would have stayed the manager, we talking about it would have been an unfair league for years to come, because he had these guys set up for years in advance, to where they were still winning based on some of the moves that he was making. And I thought James clicked.
Do you think they're less because of not having Dusty Baker?
Dusty Baker was a very good manager. And he was credited with some of the moves that he made on hunch and not statistics in the World Series that propelled them to winning that 2022 World Series. But but the vibe of the team, the way Framber threw at his own catcher last year, I don't see that happening under Dusty or any of those winning teams. So I'm hoping all of that's kind of changed this year. Those injuries are gone away. So but I feel like as long as Altuve is there, the Astros got a chance.
Okay, well that's he's still there. All 4'9" of him. And Phil, what you got to say?
Well, speaking of the pitching he's talking about, Detroit liked him, so they took him. And that's the same manager you just spoke highly of. So,
Yeah.
but I'll say this: the culture has been built for the Astros to continue to win. You don't have the Bregmans, you don't have some of the guys who help you get where you are, but they got just enough to be competitive because they're in the weak American League West, and that should help. And once the playoffs start, you don't have to win the division; you can be a wild card. Baseball is the one sport where the lesser teams have a better chance once the playoffs start. So I believe the Astros are always good, long as they're in contention and good pitchers have good hitting. They seem to have picked up 2 good pitchers, so we'll see. Got to get the hitting going. So we'll see. They have a good chance in the American League.
Hey, Gerald, do you remember some of them old Astro teams? Jose Cruz, Terry Poole, Kevin
Cruz, Nolan Ryan, Mike Scott,
J.R. Richard.
J.R. You going back?
Yeah, way back.
Yeah.
Cesar Cedeno.
I've been here that long.
Yeah. Down there, it might be a little bit before your time, but your dad might know about it. But the Astros used to be, not a powerhouse, but I mean, they were interesting. They were good. And, they had the city paying attention. And finally, they got there with Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio, but they lost, and they had an all-white team at that time. But the team with Dusty Baker got them over the top, and we hope for better things. Go ahead, Phil.
No. Well, when Gerald's making a comment about they lost to the
Who they lose to?
They got swept. He's a Chicago guy. Come on, we gave it to you. But where have the White Sox been lately? Okay.
I don't know. They was there in 2006.
Yeah. And how many? 20 years ago? Okay. That
2006.
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. He's true to who he is. I mean, you got to give a man his credit. It's what he.
And I still say
baseball jersey and the Chicago Bears hat. I mean, he is who he is.
Baseball has lost some of its luster in this new age of TV and streaming. Baseball has lost some of their luster, while basketball has gained in luster. So
I disagree with that on basketball. I don't think the NBA has gained luster. Not in my opinion. But go ahead.
They certainly got more episodes on TV on streaming.
Yeah, but it's going down. Trust me, the NBA is going down as far as TV coverage. As far as people watching it, the viewership is gone down. Trust me, it has.
And baseball is actually up right now.
No, we talking about basketball.
He said baseball. He gave you another angle.
You said NBA.
Hold on, Jeff. What you say, Adonnis?
I say baseball is looking a bit brighter to me than the basketball is. Because they actually I don't know if you saw, but they've been doing some of the numbers from the World Baseball Classic, and United States versus Mexico was one of the most watched baseball games of the year.
And
I think it had like 5.3 million.
Right here at Dakin Park.
Right.
But I will say the international baseball is probably covered more than local and national baseball, because those other countries look at baseball like they look at soccer. And we are going to have the FIFA soccer here in town also, and that's going to be a big draw. Soccer is still probably the biggest draw. Wouldn't you say that, Adonnis?
Oh yeah. So I've been working on a few things myself in preparation for it, but I know a lot of people have said, having the World Cup here is like having 7 Super Bowls, but really that's kind of downplaying it. Really, when you look at what it actually all encompasses. So whatever football does, the World Cup does like 10 times that on the global stage. So saying it's like a Super Bowl would even be a downplay. We haven't seen anything like this before in Houston history. So this is going to be a first, and it's going to be an only. once in a lifetime thing that's going to be happening here.
The World Cup soccer. Donis, give a shout out to what you're doing in business with your clothing and so forth. Give a quick shout out to that.
So I have Diversity Clothing Company. You may have seen some of the best sellers. The astronaut tee with the astronaut hitting the moon. That's like a baseball with the bat. That's one of our all-time best sellers. We do a setup here at Woodrow's and Edo.
Something happened.
We represent the city of Houston, the culture of the city. We have a little bit of things for the Astros, Rockets, just everything that's needs to be highlighted about the city on a national level. And so we make sure when other people like these events that are coming, when they come here, we wanted to make sure that we're there to have stuff that represents the city for them to see. You know, that's not made by Nike, that's not made by Academy, but made locally with somebody that's from here, having grown up here, designing everything.
And tell the name again and how long you've been in business.
So it's Diversity. It's spelled DIVERSCITY. Diversity Clothing Company, and this is actually the 10-year anniversary of the brand. So I started in 2016. I was there, set up across the street from the stadium when the Astros won in 2017. That was like the breakout year. 2022 when they won that one, I was in downtown as well for that one. So I've kind of been in the general area between Toyota Center, Dakin Park, Shell Energy Stadium, really for the last like 9 to 10 years or so. We've done collaboration
and I'm a witness
for the World Cup.
Go ahead, brother. I'm a witness to it. I've seen it, and I've seen his progress, and I'm very proud.
Congratulations.
Go ahead, Phil.
I was just saying, congratulations. We need to get together and come and survey what he has, and as a group go out and support him, see what we can do.
Sound good. That's a good thing. Yeah, Adonnis, we'll I'll talk to you about that, and we'll come and support you and see what you got, and
put the website in the group chat.
All right, sounds good. Guys, we're toward the end of our show, and it's been a good show. And as you know, every 2 weeks, we'll be doing this. This is our 62nd episode, Mr. President. We've been doing this a long time, and we are going to continue. If it's Friday, every other Friday, we're going to be talking sports. And we're going to talk the heart of sports, and whatever's going on, we're going to talk about it. Mr. President, your final word.
I want to congratulate Jack Yates for making it to the regional finals. However, they lost to Wheatley. So I want to go ahead and also congratulate Wheatley on beating JY by 1 point in the regional finals. And then I want to congratulate Lamarck High School for beating Wheatley by 1 point. And Lamarck will be playing tonight against Dallas Carter in the 4A finals, state finals.
Very, very interesting. But shout out to Yates and Wheatley. They're making it like old times back in the past where they used to always be at the top. All right, guys, we will see you in 2 weeks. Anybody got a major shout out? Adonnis has put his clothing company in the chat. So if you want to check that out, diversityclothing.com. And guys, whatever's going on, we will be at the heart of it in sports. Thank you very much. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Make sure everybody get a copy, Paul. Thank you.
All